Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to drive and what the examiners expect to see on your driving test. So we're going to cover all the main topics and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. And for those of you that are learning to drive, make sure you download the Ultimate Driving Course app. Yeah, it's the only app you're going to need to pass your driving test, and it's going to help you save lots of time and money on your driving lessons. So we're going to start off with some moving off and stopping. So during your driving test, the examiner will ask you to park up around 3 times. Then obviously after parking up, you'll be moving the car. When moving off, the key things the examiner will be looking for is control and good observations. So when moving off, the first thing you do is prepare the car. Don't do your checks until your car's prepared, because your checks are pointless unless the car is prepared. What I mean by that is, so if you look around, check it's safe, and you haven't got your gear and your biting point ready, then that's going to take you an extra few seconds to do that. And in that time, obviously your observations that you did when you saw it was clear, that could change. Right, so the first thing you do is clutch down, select first gear. Now we're going to get the biting point, and I'm not going to set any gas, I'm not going to press any gas. Well, I'm putting the gas, obviously known as the accelerator as well, because in this car's got an electronic parking brake, and as soon as I accelerate, it's going to switch off. So it's going to release the parking brake. So I'm not going to accelerate, my foot's just over it. So my car is prepared now, so I'm ready. Now I'm going to do my checks. I'm going to check my center mirror. I can see there's a car coming now, so I'm going to wait for that. And there's a car coming from ahead which doesn't really affect us at the moment. So again, I can see another vehicle coming. After this white vehicle, it seems clear, so I'm going to start checking my left blind spot, left mirror, looking at center mirror again, looking ahead, checking the right mirror for anyone overtaking, checking that blind spot. I'm going to put a signal on because there's an oncoming vehicle, checking that blind spot again, and then moving off. I'm building up my speed, not being too slow. And remember, just like I did there, to do your blind spot check just before moving off. And when the examiner asks you to park up, don't rush. Normally when they do ask you to park up, there is a safe place to park up at. So let's say the examiner's asked me to park up here now. So first thing I'm going to do is check my center mirror, left mirror. I can see there's a vehicle behind. There's no way safe to pull up just yet because of the junction and the pedestrian crossing. So now I'm not going to ease off the gas. I found a safe place to park up, just this patch of road here. So I'm going to check my center mirror, left mirror again, signal left so the car behind knows I'm slowing down, gently brake, get a position, and then clutch down, brake to a stop, and then always secure the car, parking brake and neutral, and then cancel your signal. And then you wait for the instructions of the examiner who will ask you to move off whenever you're ready. So as you saw there, it doesn't matter if there's a car behind you. Sometimes I see learners start to panic because there's a car behind them and think they can't park up because they're going to hold up the traffic behind. Just don't slow them down all of a sudden. Make sure you check what's happening behind you and signal, and that after the signal you're allowed to slow down just like I did there. At the end of this road I'll be turning left, so center mirror, left mirror, signaling left and covering the brake pedal, gently braking, clutch down now, selecting first gear about a car length beforehand, following the pavement and looking right, left, right again, and entering the road. After entering the road, center mirror, right mirror, and then build up the speed. Always check the center mirror and right mirror just to make sure nobody's overtaking. This time when I turn left at the end of the road, the junction's quite open, so as we can see to the right, there's no buildings in the way. We've got a good view, so center mirror, left mirror, signaling right, keeping my normal position, slowing down, selecting first gear still. It is clear from the right, but there's parked cars to my left. So that's why it's important, when you do emerge out left like that, don't just look to the right, look both ways, as you saw the obstructions there. Parked vehicles, it could be somebody crossing the road. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to deal with a steep uphill junction. So whereas we did a T-junction earlier on a flat road, we kept the clutch down on approach and brought it up when we were ready to emerge out. On an uphill T-junction, as you approach it, it's really important where you keep the clutch. Right here now I'll be turning right, so center mirror, right mirror, signaling right. This is one of the steepest uphill junctions here now, so I'm going to position close to the white line, clutch down, first gear, and I've got the biting point. Notice how I didn't brake here yet. So I'm looking to the left and right. I can see a safe gap to go. And that's how we use the clutch control to our advantage on the approach to an uphill junction. Obviously, if there were quite a few cars there, then I would use the parking brake and just wait patiently for a safe gap. So don't just go up to every uphill junction and just panic and put the parking brake up. The key to this is being confident with the clutch and practicing some clutch control. Now I'm going to be turning left into a side road, so from the main road. So first thing I'm going to do is check my centre mirror, left mirror, signal left, gently brake, slow down to about 20 miles an hour, clutch down second gear, bring that clutch up all the way, foot still over the brake. I even use the brake here a little bit because the road was kind of narrow. And as soon as I've entered the new road, check my centre mirror, right mirror, and build up my speed. Now I'm going to be turning left from this main road into a narrow side road. So centre mirror, left mirror, signalling left. I'm going to slow down, again between 15 and 20 miles an hour, selecting second gear, bringing the clutch up, and now looking into the road. It's quite narrow, so my foot's on the brake, just controlling that speed. And now centre mirror, right mirror. So the key thing on these turns, when you're approaching and turning into side roads, make sure the clutch is up and not down. When the clutch is down, that's classed as coasting, and that's one thing that the examiner will definitely be looking out for. A quick favour guys, if you find any of my content useful, please subscribe, helps me out a lot. Okay, now I'm going to be turning right from this main road into a side road, so centre mirror, right mirror, signalling right, slowing down and assessing the situation ahead. I'm going to select second gear because I can see a safe gap after this van, positioning into the middle, waiting for my correct position before starting to steer to the right, ensuring I don't steer too early and cut across the other side of the road. So now I'm going to be turning right from this main road into a side road, so centre mirror, right mirror, signalling right. I'm not going to position to the right just yet because of the oncoming car. I'm going to slow down, selecting second gear, clutch up, and no oncoming vehicle, looking into the road. And as soon as I've entered the new road, centre mirror, right mirror, and build up my speed. And as you saw there, you know that blue vehicle that was waiting to emerge out. Remember, when turning right from the main road, we have priority over those cars that are waiting to emerge out. So don't hesitate due to those vehicles. So here now, it's a crossroad, uncontrolled. There's a road to my left and right. Just make sure nobody is emerging out. Well, if they're waiting to emerge out, that's fine. They should be waiting. But sometimes drivers don't notice the markings and they drive straight across. So just look out for that. I'll be turning right here now. So centre mirror, right mirror, signalling right, positioning close to the centre white line. So now I've got priority over this white car to our left, but not priority over the oncoming vehicles. But there's enough space for me. So you've got to be careful, obviously, how that white car was edging out a little bit. That's what you need to look out for. So at this crossroad, I'll be turning right. So checking my centre mirror, right mirror, signal right, positioning close to the centre white line. And I've got to wait for the oncoming cars. So I'm going to steer to the right and get a position as close as I can to the oncoming cars without blocking their path, which is here. And I can see a safe gap after this car. And again, after entering the new road, centre mirror and right mirror. Right, here's another traffic light control crossroad. This one is busier. So I'm going to be checking my centre mirror, right mirror, signalling right, see positioning in the right hand lane. And now, before I go into the middle, just checking there is enough space for me behind this van or truck, which there is. So now, as the vehicle in front goes, I'm going to get a good position. A good position is steering to the right as much as I can, getting close to the oncoming vehicles but not blocking their path. So now, getting this position, I've got the best possible view, and now I can see a safe gap and I can enter the new road. And then if you're not getting a gap when the lights are green, what's going to happen? Obviously the lights are going to turn red. As soon as those lights turn red, make sure the cars in front are slowing down for you and then make your move. Don't hang around there too long, because after those lights turn red, the lights to your left and right will be turning green, and then you'll be holding up the traffic. Right, when stopping behind another vehicle, make sure not to get too close. You leave about 2 meters, which is about this much space, and always ensure you can see the back tires and a bit of road underneath the tires. We call that the tires and tarmac rule. So just in case that car in front does break down or roll back, we've got enough space to drive around it. And when moving off in this kind of situation, make sure you check both side mirrors to look out for cyclists before you move off. Remember, when you're parked up at lights like we are now, or just behind traffic, use that time. Obviously the examiner is going to be watching you. The examiner will be checking to see if you're checking your mirrors just before moving off. So yeah, situations like this, definitely check the side mirrors. Okay, we can see parked cars ahead. So to overtake the parked cars, I'm going to be steering to the right. So I'll check my centre mirror, right mirror, move over to the right in plenty of time, not getting too close, leaving enough space, about 1 meter when I'm overtaking. And then after overtaking, you check your centre mirror, left mirror, and move back to the left. Okay, so I'm approaching some traffic lights ahead because the car's in front of me. So I'm going to start to slow down. Before slowing down, check the centre mirror. Make sure you know there's no one following too close behind. If there is somebody following quite close behind, it means your braking can't be sharp. You don't want to do sharp braking anyway. But yeah, the examiner will be looking at you to see if you're checking the mirrors before you start slowing down. A quick break here, guys. For those of you that are learning to drive, make sure to download the Ultimate Driving Course app. It's basically like having me as your instructor. There's a video covering every single topic required to pass the driving test. Just watch the relevant video before each lesson and enter the car with the correct knowledge. No more wasting valuable lesson time parked up. On average, it'll save around 15 to 20 minutes per lesson, helping you learn quicker and save money on driving lessons. It's available to download on both Android and iOS. So here now we have a narrow road with quite a few parked cars. We could end up in a meeting situation, so I'm planning that nice and early. So if a car does turn up now, they've got priority because the parked vehicles are on my side of the road. And so I'm going to slow down a little, but there's enough space for both of us here. That's it. I don't know why I said that's it, but yeah. Oh, and that's why you keep a meter when passing the parked cars, for situations like that, for people walking in between the cars and stepping out. Again, oncoming vehicles, parked cars on my side, so they have priority. So it's my job to hold back, just like I did there. And again, more oncoming vehicles. I'm gonna stop here, leaving enough space from the vehicle in front, checking my centre mirror, right mirror, and then obviously leaving enough space when passing the parked vehicle. Just make sure when you do stop for the oncoming cars, don't get too close to the parked vehicles. Leave at least one full car length. Like I can demonstrate again, because there's another oncoming vehicle. So here now, this is at least one car length, just a bit more than that, and I'm positioned slightly to the right so it doesn't look as if I'm parked up. And check my centre mirror and right mirror before moving off. Getting a good position is key, because remember, the position of your vehicle is the biggest form of signal. Now here the oncoming car should be slowing down, but it's not. So I'm going to take action. So perfect example of, even when we do have priority, not all vehicles, don't expect the other vehicles to slow down and stop for you. Right now we're on a dual carriageway, and on a dual carriageway, when you have a choice of 2 lanes, always keep to the left hand lane. The right hand lane is for overtaking or turning right. For normal driving is your left hand lane. And if it's clear, the speed limit obviously isn't a target, but if it's clear and safe to do so, reach the speed limit. That way you're not holding up traffic behind. As we can see, the vehicles behind, it's a safe gap. I'm keeping the traffic flowing. Okay, when following other vehicles, make sure you keep a gap of 2 seconds. So the way we work that out, when the vehicle in front, well, that's changing lanes now. So when that vehicle in front gets to the roundabout sign, which is there now, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. So that's a 3 second gap from the vehicle in front. Again, when that car gets to the next lamppost, it's there, 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds. So that's a safe enough gap there. And let me add to that, at no point should you get too close to the vehicle in front, yeah, because that will most likely, in my experience, be marked as a serious fault. Okay, now changing lanes on a dual carriageway. So if you're asked to turn right and you're on a dual carriageway, the first thing is to change lanes at the correct time. You don't want to do it too early, but don't leave it too late either, otherwise you might miss your turn. So I'm going to be turning right, not these lights, but the following set of lights. So hopefully there's traffic on my right, so I can actually demonstrate how to select a safe gap and when to signal. It's always the case when you want cars there. Yeah, there's a few cars turning up, which is good. Remember, like I mentioned earlier, the left lane is for normal driving, the right hand lane is for overtaking or turning right. Okay, so I'm going to start thinking about changing my lane now. So checking my centre mirror, right mirror, assessing that there is a vehicle there. So I'm going to signal right to notify that vehicle that I want to change lanes. And I've already seen a reaction. They've eased off the gas a little bit. They're not speeding up, which means it's safe for me to change lanes. Okay, at this mini roundabout, I'll be turning right. So checking my centre mirror, right mirror, signaling right, slowing down, selecting second gear, bringing the clutch up, looking to the right. There's a vehicle coming. He's got his left signal on, so I can continue. And then the signaling left to exit. There, if you haven't got time to signal left, what I mean by that is as soon as you pass the first exit on a mini roundabout, the second exit, it was straight there, yeah? Okay, so you don't always have to signal to exit the roundabout, but you always signal on approach if you're turning right to left, whether it be a mini roundabout or a major roundabout. At this roundabout, I'll be turning left, so centre mirror, left mirror, signal left, gently brake to about 20 miles an hour, selecting second gear, bringing the clutch up, looking to the right. After this van, it seems clear, so I can enter the roundabout, keeping to the left, and after exiting, checking my mirrors, centre and right mirror, and building up my speed. Okay, at this roundabout, I'll be going straight ahead and taking the second exit, so checking my centre mirror, right mirror, slowing down, keeping to the left lane here. Again, I can use both of these lanes. I'm going to stick to the left one, and obviously there's vehicles there now, so I'm going to stop, select first gear, and after this car I can see a safe gap, so I'm going to be ready beforehand on the accelerator, ready to move. And after I pass the first exit, centre mirror, left mirror, signalling left and keeping to the left. So the main thing the examiner is going to be looking for there is your lane discipline and obviously your judgment when entering the roundabout. And at this roundabout, I'll be turning right and taking the third exit. So centre mirror, right mirror, signalling right. It's safe to change lanes. So I'm going to cancel that signal for now because that was for the lane change. And now for the roundabout, centre mirror, right mirror, I'm going to signal again. Remember, like I mentioned earlier, not getting too close to the car in front. So I'll be taking the third exit here. It's really important to count the exits after entering the roundabout so you don't get mixed up with your exit. And it's safe to enter the roundabout. I'm going to keep to the inside. And here's exit 1, checking my centre mirror, left mirror, keeping to the inside. And as I get to exit 2, checking my centre mirror, left mirror again, signalling left, making sure it's safe, and moving over. So see how there at each exit I check my mirrors. Doing that just gives you a good idea of what's happening around you rather than leaving it last second. So even before I got to my exit, before I had to change lanes, I knew what was going on. At this roundabout, I'll be going straight ahead and taking the second exit. So looking at the markings, I can use this lane for straight ahead. And now this is splitting up into 3 lanes. Again, avoiding the keep clear. There's enough space ahead for me now, so I can continue. So when you have a choice of 2 lanes that you can use for straight ahead, always select the left one. I'll tell you the reason for that in a bit. Now after entering the roundabout, keeping to the left, and as soon as I pass the first exit, centre mirror, left mirror, signalling left, and because we chose the left lane to start off with, we ended up in the left lane. That silver car had used the middle lane. If you use the middle lane, then you'll end up in the right hand lane of the carriageway, which means all you have to do is move back to the left. Like I said, told you earlier, the right hand lane for the right hand lane of the dual carriageway is for turning right or overtaking. Okay, so at this roundabout, I'm going to be turning left and taking the second exit. As you can see from the sign, there's 2 exits to the left. So this lane has got a left arrow pointing to the left. It does not mean it's just a first exit. It means you can use this for turning left. And like I said, by looking at that sign, we could see there were 2 exits to the left. So we could use this lane for both of those exits. If I was going to go straight ahead, then I cannot use this lane. So I'm going to keep to the left, past the first exit, centre mirror, left mirror, signalling left to exit the roundabout, and checking my mirrors as I build up my speed. And once you're driving at a good level and you feel you can drive, the main thing is that you should always be planning ahead and anticipating what could happen. So here now, I'm approaching a pedestrian crossing. Just checking, there is no one waiting there, so the lights aren't going to change. Ahead, there's traffic building up because of a lorry reversing, so I'm going to check my mirror, ease off the gas, start braking nice and early. So looking out for these kind of situations early on, it just makes it easier because it gives you a lot more time to react to what's going on rather than leaving it last minute. So in this kind of situation, what you need to anticipate is doors opening, people walking out from in between the cars like we saw earlier. And let's see what this car's doing. So when there's parked vehicles on both sides of the road, no one really has priority. You just have to assess what the vehicle in front is doing, well, the oncoming vehicle is doing. Like first we saw she was about to stop, but then she decided to continue. So when I talk about planning ahead and anticipating, it's not necessarily like taking any kind of action, just about thinking about what could happen. Like here now there's oncoming vehicles, so I'm going to leave a safe gap from the parked up vehicle. I can see there's a gap after this white vehicle, so centre mirror, right mirror, and again being ready to take my opportunity when it rises. Yeah, so you don't want to be waiting for the cars to pass and then think, okay, now I'll do my mirrors and then get your feet ready. As soon as you see the gap arising, same when you're entering roundabouts, get your feet ready, otherwise you're going to miss that opportunity. Right here there's a parked van, so I'm anticipating somebody stepping out from behind the van. I can see cones in the road, so I'm expecting workmen. So there's always something that you can be thinking about, like ahead. Like here again, another parked car. The amount of people just think that parked cars aren't a hazard. In my opinion, they're one of the biggest hazards, because for that reason, people don't think they're a hazard, so they get too close. Okay guys, so those were the main topics, and you'll be covering I'd say all of those topics in your driving test, and hopefully you kind of got an idea what the examiners will be expecting. And yeah, like always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.